USA being on the same page with one another. Gurenlian on the face-off for Team USA. And this one's an epic battle. These two will not give it up. Looking for help, trying to find options, trying to redirect. That's pretty good scouting. And finally, the ball comes loose. It goes into the defensive end for Team USA. Infraction, and Team USA picks it up.
A lot of beef on that face-off with Gurenlian going up against Woodall. Gurenlian able to get the better of him.
Long stick into the offensive end as Ratliff takes a peek, and now he'll step out across midfield. And Team USA will start things for their second possession. Towson hasn't even had it yet, and they're down 1-0 early in this one.
Ratliff, of course, the pride of Atlanta, made a name for himself down the road here at Loyola during that NCAA title run in 2012.
That was a memorable run for Loyola. Towson almost mimicked it last year to some degree. The 11th seed getting all the way to the championship weekend. If you're looking for Connor Kelly, the Maryland player, he has it in his stick now as he passes off. He's at the top. They go to the far side. Quick moving inside. Shot and a save. Manny tried to go for goal number 2. Ball is loose. Good save that time. Shane Brennan is the starter for Towson, the sophomore from Huntington Station, New York. And a good check at midfield, and Team USA has it back.
And Brennan has been pushing Josh Miller for that starting position, so expect to see a little bit of both of them today.
So Team USA in full control right now. Towson's defense certainly getting a workout early in this one. Ball is loose, but it's going to be picked up by Chanachuk. And now they'll swing it around. Kelly with it. Of course, Kelly played yesterday for Team Maryland. You have to admit, Danowski didn't want one of his players to go up against his own team, so that's why he's playing today.
Well, that's another unique way you get to evaluate who's at your disposal, seeing him playing for the opposite side. Especially
when he did so well against Team USA yesterday. I think that probably turned some heads.
Certainly. He has to be considered a candidate for the Tewaaraton Trophy this year.
Absolutely. Big hit. Lot of action. Now a flag is up, and a little bit different in the national rule when the ball hits. Nope, they're going to blow it dead now. So I guess it snuck through.
17 to go, first quarter.
We will point out some of the Towson players wearing uniforms without numbers. We'll do our best to figure out who's who, as now Tom Kelly will get a chance at the face-off X for Team USA. For the record, in college, he had one face-off.
He did.
It did not win it.
He's quick to point out that fact. His college face-off record is 0 for 1.
Well,
he's part of that Virginia team in 2011. Give him credit, though. I mean, after not really doing what he probably wanted to do academically there, going back to Long Island, training on his own, and now one among the elite face-off specialists in the world. Team
USA has always had elite face-off guys. You can go through a list back in the history of Team USA, and just especially coming out of the college game, of just face-off experts. And they got a long list here on this to be able to take to the World Championships.
Certainly. The one exception would be 2006 when the U.S. opted not to take a face-off specialist to Canada. Wound up losing in that game in the final with Jeff Snyder taking over. Lessons learned there. They've since made a point to have Fogos on the roster.
Nice pass inside and a bounce shot goal. Ryan Brown converts. Miles Jones the feed. Brown with the behind, basically back to the, and now the ball will go out of bounds and will belong to Team USA. Team USA's defense everywhere.
Swarming effort there by the U.S. defense, trying to make Towson as uncomfortable as possible. They know the Tigers' attack is vastly inexperienced, and they're trying to exploit that today.
Towson with a bit of a half-court press there, let's say, and Team USA easily defeats it. We are 9 minutes left to go here in the first. Again, running clock. Only stoppage, I think, was for the conversation on whether the second one was a goal or not.
Certainly, and that may have slipped through the netting when all said and done, because the officials did need to regroup and ultimately credited Manny with that goal.
Jones with possession, far side. They go behind the cage to Malloy. Back to the far side, shot in the goal. Buzek with a whistler from the alley. And it's 4-0, 8.5 minutes left to go in the first. He was wide open on the backside. Towson almost felt like they overcommitted to the near side. And if they want to get past Brennan, shoot low. They've had a couple of low shots so far, the last two, looking like they went through the wickets. And another easy face-off win. Here comes Team USA down the throat of Towson again. But they back off a bit and will reset as Towson got back on defense. 5-0, 7 minutes left to go here in the first. As Kelly with it, hasn't had to be a factor in this game so far.
U.S. already with 11 shots on goal in this first quarter.
Roscoe comes in from midfield. Almost caught Towson's defense out of position on the change. Team USA kind of playing that slow down now, trying to hold on to possession. Kelly, one-on-one with Goodrich. Shot up top, goal. It was another low one for Carroll this time. Whistles it by Brennan. It's 6-0. Key so far for Team USA. You said that would be a key in this game, and they are certainly showing that they can move the ball well as a unit.
And it's defense turning into offense. We saw that great defensive possession. You mentioned there was a lot of chatter down there, and that's a good sign if you're the U.S. To be honest, last night it was kind of quiet. It was kind of quiet down there, especially when Maryland was making its comeback to make that a game. A lot more talk today, and that's a good sign for the U.S.
Team USA wins another face-off. They are now 8 for 8 on the game with 2:15 left to go here in the first quarter. And Towson would love to get the ball out of the defensive end here. But so far, Team USA has maintained control of everything. Janachuk with it, now feeds in front. Shot off the post for Carroll, looking for another. And you could hear it hit the pipe from all the way back here. Jones now with possession. That's the other thing, is they're getting the rebounds, they're getting the extra opportunities. They're there to get the ball back into their cross so that Towson doesn't get a break.
Well, Towson defense definitely going more to the interior.
A chance later in the game, talk more about Monahan, who's maybe an X factor on this Towson squad. As Team USA will cross midfield, Abbott will dump it off and feed Janachuk. And, of course, the penalty is clear. 30 seconds goes by quickly, especially with a moving clock.
Monahan, one of those transfers we were talking about earlier, never really got on track at Maryland. Change of scenery, could be an impact player for the Tigers.
Well, he had also initially said he was going to Ohio State before deciding to go to Maryland instead. And he's had a little bit of a indecision. I don't know if that's fair to say. Is another shot saved by Brennan. Is another shot, whistles. Pay gets it back to their keeper, Brian Phipps, the Annapolis, Maryland native, and will move upfield. Slipping a fall, though, by Constable, but able to pick it back up, and thought he was going to enter the fray, but he will back out, and they'll get a short stick in here.
Got a good look at Mike Manley on that defensive possession for the U.S., giving his guy the business.
Flag down. Away from ball.
Manley, of course, just arrived a couple minutes before opening face-off. He's a New York State trooper and certainly has his hands full, but when he's on the field, one of the best in the game.
30-second foul going to be called here on Towson. Their first penalty of the game, if I remember correctly. Offsides. So the USA will go to a man advantage. You talk about Manley. Yeah, we were down there 30 minutes before the game. He hadn't arrived yet. The coaches didn't really know if they were going to be putting him in the lineup, and you and I spotted him as they came out for the national anthem.
Yeah, and credit to him and what he's been able to achieve in his career. Really hard to make that elite group of New York State troopers, and I don't think you have to worry about him being in physical condition or anything to that effect.
Shot!
I think that was Papa Beast we just saw, Greg Gorenlian's father.
Is that who that was?
Yeah, making the trip.
Of course, the game's spreading as well, down into the south, down to Atlanta and Florida. Obviously, we've known about Denver, but it's moving even west of the Rockies now. While this is one of those traditional 3 or 4 hotbeds, Long Island, Baltimore, western and central New York, and the New England area, consider that it's spreading and spreading quickly. So it's good to see the fans taking this one in. But we see guys now on these rosters from further away.
Yeah, we talked about Scott Ratliff earlier from Atlanta. Connor Busick in Ohio. That Jeff Snyder can be back for another go at it for a fourth time, it's
a lot under the legs.
World championship, even though he's retired from professional lacrosse. Jake Withers, of course, just graduated from Ohio State, had a nice summer, one of the top NLL draft picks. I expect to see a lot of Withers And so you're trying to compare how these guys do in that particular matchup, not just how they do against Towson, Maryland, or even each other.
We're a long way out. But I gather from all the research you do as you work up to these World Championships, Team USA and Team Canada are obviously the picks to be battling it out. But is there an outlier? Is there someone else that, especially if you're a Team USA fan, you need to watch out for?
Well, certainly you can never count out the Iroquois, just given the talent that's been coming out of the Six Nations steadily for the last decade or so. The Thompson brothers, of course, are drawing a lot of acclaim. They're certainly an X factor. Australia has been in the conversation. England is vastly improving out of that blue division. But certainly, people are looking to U.S. and Canada.
Nice feed in front. Last year, 462 minutes in cage for the 5'10", now senior from Norwalk, Connecticut. And now it is 13-0 as the first goal for Team USA in this half. We should point out, again, got out to an 8-0 start in the first quarter, scored 4 more in the second quarter, tacking another one on here. So things have slowed down a little bit. But Coach Danowski, I feel like I'd say he hit a spot that was maybe 8 inches wide between the post and Miller's right leg. As we get another battle here, this time it is Baptiste. Not sure who Towson's got facing off.
It's Grenlian and Woodall on that face-off.
Oh, there you're right. It is Woodall. Grenlian not wearing a uniform number. It's been throwing me off all day, but called for the infraction. And long stick in the offense there by Constable. He's staying in. Look, he wants a shot at this point. He's still in there as they're behind the cage, and a hard check from Towson. The ball is loose. Triple team coming over on the loose ground ball. And Towson will pick it up and will try and transition here against Team. That's how you feel like you're part of the game without being in the game. Feet in the grass without actually being on the grass. Those are outstanding. I love that.
Yeah, talk about turf shoes.
Well, today here, as once again you take a look at the Creators Game statue honoring the sports' heritage and roots with the indigenous people of the Americas, as you talk about the 7 nations and their contributions to this game. And we are back underway here in the fourth quarter. I'm Dave McHugh, Matt DeSilva from U.S. Lacrosse alongside. We got Bob Trossett down on the field as well.
That statue for the longest time on University Parkway in Baltimore, they actually brought down the original sculptor to cut it off at certain points so they could transport it and to re-weld it here.
Wow.
At the new headquarters, and it's a beautiful spot for it.
Yeah, we should point out the headquarters originally on the campus of Johns Hopkins, alongside their field, smaller space, tighter parking, a little harder to get into. This is a comparatively vastly different facility up here in, as I've been calling it, North Central Baltimore County, and into the crease. They're going to call them in the higher schedule before the FIL World Championships next year. And I will say this, not knowing any of the inside stuff at all, I think Coach Danowski and his staff's going to have a very hard time whittling this down to 23 guys.
Yeah, it's a balancing act. You're not trying to pick an all-star team.
Right. He emphasized that to us.
Yeah.
This isn't about the names. This isn't about getting the biggest, brightest stars necessarily. It's about, as you pointed out in the first half, the guys who can be versatile, who might play one position but can slide into a different position at a moment's notice on the field or at the call of the coaches when necessary.
Yeah, we go back to 2010, the last time the U.S. won the World Championship, and someone like Ned Crotty, who was a reigning Tewaaraton winner at the time, did not see any action in that championship game until the fourth quarter and scores a huge goal on an invert from behind because he can play midfield or attack. He and Mike Lavelle were big components of that team in 2010, and they're still trying to identify who those types of players will be for us next summer.
And Coach Danowski also wanted to point out this is about the players. Shot and a save as Brown was looking for another one. Miller read the bounce very well and got his stick up. Team USA with another opportunity. Shot from the near wing. And
Malloy has been a great pivot point for a lot of those breaks. Unsettled situation off the Towson turnover, and Team USA capitalizes.
Malloy, the Brown graduate of 2017, to Manny, the UMass graduate of 2013. And they're showing that they can play together. This team is showing they can play together very well, and that's tough to do, again, off of only a handful of weekends. They don't necessarily play professionally together. There's a few.
You take advantage of a team that is trying to possess a little bit. That's how you force them into a bad shot, is again by playing that by extending out on defense, making them uncomfortable. You saw Abbott there with the short stick. You look at it and you think maybe he got beat, but what he really did was force his guy down the alleys, and that's what they want. They want to see players going down the alleys, not allowing them to turn back, and you're going to do that by pressuring.
So Team USA with possession, 3 minutes left, in control of this game, 21-2, looking to finish this one off and give Coach Danowski and the rest of his staff much more to talk about with this squad. Shot and whistles it wide, coming from Caro. Caro looking for goal number 4. SweatX is the official laundry detergent and odor spray of Team USA. For more information and to shop SweatX products, visit sweatxsport.com. Proud presenter here of the U.S. Lacrosse Classic. And yesterday, again, a 10-9 game between Maryland and the Blue Squad for Team USA. A little bit different here today as the White Squad up on Towson 21-2. 2 Final Four participants. Of course, Maryland national champion last year. Thought about it, did Kavanaugh, then realized he was behind the cage. No angle. So he bails out of the idea.
And also realize that the U.S. is trying to possess here.
Right.
It's denying that basic instinct that they have to try to go to goal and score and find a way to possess.
Well, couldn't hold off any longer. Goal number 7 for Will Manny. Another slice into the middle and a quick stick shot. He's got that perfected. He has probably scored, I would argue, 3/4 of his goals off the quick stick. The official assist coming for Caro.